Special thanks to all our patrons who support the show every single week. We couldn't do it without you. Head over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast and subscribe today for bonus content, exclusive happy hour live chats, and more. Patrons, you help keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going, and we're so grateful for you. Not a patron yet? Join us today at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Help support the show by using our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop on Amazon for running gear, food, beverages, or anything else the little gray trucks might bring your way. Just use runeatdrink.net/Amazon anytime you shop. It costs nothing extra. It's only one extra click, and it helps us keep the lights on and the bandwidth flowing. Just go to runeatdrink.net/Amazon, and we thank you for your support.
This is Mevka Flesky, and you're watching the Run, Eat, and Drink podcast.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country, and after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Hey, welcome to episode 243 of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. I'm your host, your remote host, Amy.
And live from the Run, Eat, Drink podcast studios here in sunny Southwest Florida, I'm your co-host, Dana.
Welcome to our preview of one of our all-time favorite race weekends, Gasparilla Distance Classic.
Yeah. Now, you guys are going to hear a little bit of difference in the audio between me and Amy this week, and that's because we are, in fact, recording remotely. Amy is already in Tampa. I'd like to say you're scouting, but that's actually not the reason you're there.
No. I'm here with my father, and he is doing very well, and he is just doing everything right, and we are hoping for the best possible outcome for his treatment as he fights cancer up here at Moffitt Cancer Center. It's they have been wonderful to us, and I am taking good care of him. My sister's at home looking after everyone else, and you are at home looking after our Run, Eat, Drink, Runcation Nation mascots, if you will.
The unofficial mascots of the show. Yeah, our menagerie of animals, our household, and the Run, Eat, Drink podcast towers. I mean, we have an entire staff of scientists and recording professionals and everybody that we keep on staff here. Someone's got to keep them in line.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to keep tabs on them and the latest research that they're performing with all of our gear.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
That's right. And you're doing a great job, and I appreciate that.
Well, and you're doing a great job up there with your dad, and we are, of course, just thrilled to death with the progress he's making and how well treatment is going thus far. So we want to thank everybody for the well wishes we've been receiving for that. I mean, it means the world to us. And
it really does.
For you guys to reach out to wish us well, we love that, and to keep somebody that you've never met before in your thoughts and prayers. It's a wonderful thing.
It's amazing, and it hits me right in the heart,
right in the feels,
right at all the feels, and I can't wait till this weekend till I can see some of you to just throw my arms around you in gratitude. And
I was going to say that's right. We are going to be seeing some members of the Runcation Nation this weekend. Like you said, this week we're going to be talking about one of our favorite races, the Gasparilla Distance Classic here in Tampa. And
now, why is it your favorite?
Well, okay, we all know my favorite is Donna.
Well, naturally, we agree.
Yeah. I like the Gasparilla for a lot of reasons. I like it because, of course, it's an excuse to get back home to the city from whence I spawned. You know, the race literally runs right next to the hospital where I came into this world. So,
Yes.
you know, it gets
I'm
us
so grateful that you did.
Gets us home, gets us, you know, into a city that is unique. I mean, Tampa has a very unique character.
It's true.
It's a great city for culture. It's a great city for food and drink. And it's only gotten better over time.
I think so.
And
yeah.
And I think that it has a lot to offer. I mean, we're going to be talking a lot on this episode about places that we've covered in the past, things that people might want to consider if they're coming.
Of course.
We're also next week and probably the week after going to be talking about new locations as we recap this race. We have some new stuff to bring people. But it's a great race for that reason. I also like the course. I'm a big fan of the fact that it's so fast, flat, paved, well organized.
Oh yes.
If you're going for a PR race, this is a great one to do it. There's literally only one overpass that you go over to get onto Davis Island, and you go over it on the way back to go out to Bayshore, and it's not that long, and the rest of it is fast, flat, paved, and just it's a great course for that reason. So that's the reason I like it. What about you?
And you're talking about the half, and
I am.
I like that there is a smorgasbord, if you will, of race distances, and it's walker friendly.
Good point.
I like that, and I know that the one unknown always in the end of February in Florida is the weather.
Oh, even right now, I'm going to be costuming for this race, and I am regretting choices I made already.
You're regretting them, really?
They look great, but man, running in listen, I got some period specific stuff here. Like we're talking 1600s, 1700s, period specific wear, costume wear
which you got while I was gone.
Yeah.
So
but
I have no idea.
It's not moisture wicking. It's not
what we recommend normally.
Oh no, I'm breaking all kinds of my own rules here. I believe there's cotton involved.
There's cotton. There was no
there are ruffles.
Test run. Oh, there are ruffles.
There are ruffles, and there's a jacket or a waistcoat involved. I'm just gonna.
I don't know what's gonna happen to you over 13.1 miles.
I have a pretty good idea. I'm gonna look like a hot mess in some period specific clothing is what's gonna happen to me.
I love the race distances. I love that it is your hometown. I also love that the course. Actually, I think most, if not every course in the whole weekend, which includes challenge events, 5K, 15K, 8K, half marathon, various challenges like we were talking about. But I think almost every course goes by where you proposed to me.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right there on Bayshore Boulevard.
25 years ago. So that is also a reason I love this. It's a beautiful view. It's the longest sidewalk in the
world.
In the world?
Yeah.
I was going to say in the country.
Nope. Well, that too. But yeah, it's allegedly the longest contiguous sidewalk in the world.
So, I mean, I just like the friendliness of everybody on the course, no matter what the race distance is. Everybody is so friendly. And I think that Tampa is very much like Jacksonville in that it's a place where you can actually find lots of things to do, beautiful You can go out on the water if you want to. You can truly make it a runcation, and before or after the race, truly celebrate around town, seeing some of the sights that are wonderful.
Yeah.
But also, it's just like Jacksonville, a mecca of food and beverage.
It is. And I would say yes, but it has a distinct character that's totally different from Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's different. It's meant to be explored. It's meant to be indulged. Each city has its own unique quality and unique places opening up even now, new places and classic places that deserve return visits.
Exactly.
Also.
So on this week, we are going to be talking about some of those, and we're going to be giving you a little preview of what you can expect at the Gasparilla Distance Classic this weekend. And for all of you that are going to be traveling into the Tampa Bay area, we want to, give you maybe some tips and tricks and ways that you can get the most out of your experience as you're going for packet pickup and expo and all that stuff. And of course, give you some ideas for where to explore and indulge afterwards. But
or maybe carb load.
That too.
Depending
on
the place.
I know that you're busy up there taking care of your dad, but I also understand that you've been scouring the internet for shout outs.
Well, you have to wait on a lot of things. You have to wait to be called for appointments. You have to wait for test results.
They do have a lot of waiting rooms at Moffitt. Yes.
So while that was happening, then I was scouring the internet. I don't know if I got it all because, as we always say, we love for people to send in shout outs of their own, but it is time for shout outs. And the very first one is for our executive producer, Josh Ozbirn. We wish him a safe and healthy recovery. He had to go back into the hospital this week. We believe he's getting released shortly. He's doing everything that the doctors and nurses are telling him to do. There was just a little follow-up treatment he needed after his surgery. And I would just like to say, Josh, you're looking great. You sound good. And a setback, just a minor setback, makes way for an even greater comeback.
I was going to say, sometimes you got to take a step backward before you can leap forward. And
it's never linear.
By the way, another quick shout out for him. He's down.
Or it's never a straight line.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he's down 45 pounds.
That's amazing.
Absolutely incredible. So Josh is killing it. He's going to be back back home and feeling good. We want you healthy and healing and home, Josh. So keep doing what your doctors are telling you to do. And we know that you're going to get there. Now, you also mentioned something in our notes here about Runcation Nation Princesses. I hear that there might be this other race happening in Florida.
Yes.
This little thing.
They always compete with each other, and we always say that we need to do this weekend, but at the pull of Gasparilla, and in all fairness, we are race ambassadors for Gasparilla 2023.
We are.
So we were dedicated to this race weekend, and we always love it. It's always hard, though, to turn down Princess Weekend. I mean, I do want to see you in your best Prince Charming attire.
Okay. Well, you're going to get you're going to get a sneak preview of it this weekend. Yeah.
What?
I said, you're going to get a sneak preview of it this weekend with my period appropriate clothing for Gasparilla.
So we know you could do it. However, the princesses are running on their own over at the Run Disney events this weekend at the same time as Gasparilla is going on. And I would just like to personally say to Meg Brower, who is a patron of the show, she ran to the castle in the half marathon at Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend in January. That was her race, her very first race back after her surgery on her And it's been like we said with Josh, ups and downs in recovery. And she's coming back. She's staying positive like a champ. She is dedicated to crossing that finish line at that 10K at the Princess weekend, the Princess Half Marathon weekend. And she's going to do it. So best of luck to Meg. And we can't wait to celebrate that as she does it, because I know she will. Absolutely.
And I believe that we have other people running that race as well, like Kristin Ceneviva-Iovine is also running. Yeah. Princess, awesome.
I think she's running all 3 races, and she just celebrated a birthday over President's Day weekend. So
yes,
happy birthday,
happy
Kristin.
birthday.
Yes, and you go get them. You are our caffeinated patron of the show and friend. And running through Wonderland, Jen is, I believe, going to be at Princess Weekend as well. Hope she has a great race weekend there. And gosh, don't we have some other people in the shout outs there, Dan?
Well, okay. We've managed to put together quite the team for the Gasparilla Distance Classic. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge and shout everybody out who's going to be part of that team. First and foremost.
And when we say that, we mean you officially went through the Gasparilla race site and added yourself to our team. So
yes.
If there's anybody out there in the Runcation Nation that is running the weekend but has not added themselves to our team,
please do.
Yeah.
and we know that as of yesterday, you could still add yourself.
Right.
We know that. So, okay. So our team consists of course, you and me.
Uh-huh.
And we're doing the 15K and the half.
Yes.
And I realize I'm gesturing on camera. And this is going to be an audio podcast. So 15K, Amy running the 15K, me running the half marathon.
Yes.
We got Susie.
Originally, we were going to do both.
Yes.
Each one of us was going to do both, but
yes,
we're splitting it up so that we can be with our Runcation Nation team and take care of business.
Yeah,
take care of family.
One of us has to be with Amy's dad at all times, so both of us can't be at the race at the same time. So we're going to be splitting up not only the running but also the exploring and indulging afterwards.
Yeah. Now, in full transparency, I will tell you that my dad said, "Oh, you guys could go do that. You guys can go do each race." And we're like, no.
Nope. We have a mission.
We have a mission, and this is the way it's going to be. That's what they said we needed to do. We're going to do it.
Exactly.
And we're going to enjoy the race weekend as well. But I'm doing the 15K.
Yes. How I drew the short straw and ended up with the half marathon, I'm not exactly sure.
You volunteered. I think you volunteered.
I know that's not correct. Yeah. But we have other people who are part of this team. Susie Beck is going to be out there running the half marathon with me. And I say with me in that she's going to be on the course with me at the same time. I'm sure she'll be much faster than me. We also have Susie. Dawn Broussard doing the 15K and the half. So you will get to run with Dawn.
She's faster than I am. I'm going to be on the same course, just like you said about Susie.
Yeah. JoJo.
Yay.
Joanne Blatchley, one of our producers of the show. She's going to be doing the half marathon with me. Again, Yay. I'll see her at the finish line.
Oh yeah. And
we're finally getting to meet Darlene in person.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I'm excited that she's going to be at each race so she can meet us both.
Yes.
The 15K and the half.
15K and the half. Dean Gerber is doing the half marathon. I will absolutely not see him on the race course because he's very fast.
Lightning fast.
Fast. Judy is doing the 8K, which that's the race we did last year.
Yeah, I liked it.
I like that. You know what? I mean, I like 10K, but 8K wasn't bad either.
I know. 10K is your favorite race distance. I don't know. It's 8K sneaking in.
It's 2 fewer Ks.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about it.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It's fun. It's fun.
We also have a new Runcation Nation member who we've never met, never had the chance to see, but we're hoping to meet her. Kamara Innes. I hope we're not mispronouncing your name, Kamara.
I know.
Please find us at the start or the finish at the after party, or message us. We would love to meet you. And yes. I'm going to be hard to miss. I'm going to have a kilt and a waistcoat and a ruffled shirt and a pirate hat. If you can't find me, you're not looking. Okay.
Wow.
And I'll be way in the back, like look behind you. Okay.
She's doing the 8K.
And she's doing the 8K. She's doing the 8K.
Yeah.
We also have a couple of local friends of the show as well, who are going to be up there for the 5K. And that's
Greg Ellsbury and Christy Van Allen.
Yeah. And that came up in conversation with them at dinner. I was like, I've ordered all this costume stuff. And they're like, why would you order costumes at this time of year? And because I'm going to run and dress like a pirate for Gasparilla. And like, we're doing Gasparilla. So now they're part of our team.
Yay.
So,
and I want to say that, Kelly and Jessica may be there as well, but I'm not sure.
I hope so.
Because I didn't see them on our
They're a lot of fun.
Show. Yeah.
So but if you are going to be running the Gasparilla Distance Classic, any distance, please go back to the website, add yourself to the Runcation Nation team. Yes. We would love, love, love to see that roster grow even more. That costs you absolutely nothing to do. You've already paid your race entry fee. This is just, putting your name kind of under our umbrella, and we would love to grow the team.
Cost nothing extra. It's just we just want to know and celebrate members of the Runcation Nation. That's all.
Absolutely. And
we have one last shout out.
I was going to say we have, and this is while this is the sponsor of our show this week. Mm-hmm. We are congratulating the sponsor because she is a friend and has something to celebrate.
Yes, she will be at Gasparilla. We are celebrating that indeed. She'll be race announcing, and she will also be at the expo, and she will have her new book, Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, Sick to Strong, with her. And it's also available in paperback on her website right now. Hardback and the journal that accompany the book are coming soon to the website, fitzness.com. But congratulations to Fitz. It's a lot of hard work to put all that together and get it launched and printed and
edited and all that.
It is, that is a feat. That is a marathon, not a sprint. And
I see what you did there.
And we can't say enough about this woman. She's wonderful. She's overcome cancer herself. We've had her on the show talking about her noisy cancer comeback. And then this is another book that really needs to be in the hands of any and every recovering cancer patient.
Well, I'm going to see if I can, make my way through the throngs of people when she's there at the expo signing books and see if I can get a signed copy for the set. Because
definitely
this video that's never going to air, or I don't think is going to air, right behind me is my noisy cancer comeback. And that's that I think it needs a partner book right there in the same little cube. So
we need to be like a bonded pair.
Exactly.
There. Definitely.
So
for sure.
If you want a shout out for you or someone else that you love on the show, email us at info@runeatdrink.net. That's info@runeatdrink.net. You can email us some text. We really like it when you record an audio recording and send that to us. Keep it to about a minute, and we would love to play that on the show and make you Runcation Nation famous. But if that is too much tech for you, Amy has another solution.
Because people have been for decades, for many, many years, both on what you cool kids don't have anymore would be called a landline, with a home phone and an answering machine, or or voicemail on a mobile device. You can call and leave us a message, and we won't even pay attention to your phone number. We just pay attention to the recording that we play on the show at 941-677-2733. That's 941-677-2733. Leave us a message. We'll play it on the show.
All right. So let's talk running.
Let's talk running.
And like we've been saying, this is all about the 2023 Gasparilla Distance Classic. Gasparilla is a very local, and I'm going to use holiday in a generic term, holiday in Tampa.
Because you don't get off work.
You don't get off work. Some people probably get off work, because if you have to commute downtown or along the Bayshore corridor during Gasparilla proper, which I believe happened a week or two ago.
Sometime in January, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
that is it's a festival, it's a parade, it's a boat parade that commemorates the invasion of Tampa Bay by the pirate Jose Gaspar, who allegedly plundered the city. This is actually a little bit of Tampa trivia, Tampa history. Jose Gaspar didn't exist. The pirate that we all celebrate, whose name the festival is named for, is a fictional character created by Henry B. Plant to drive tourism to the Henry B. Plant Hotel, which, if you know anything about Tampa, or you've ever seen photos of the silver arabesque spires at the University of Tampa, the University of Tampa used to be the Henry B. Plant Hotel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You can see it on the Riverwalk.
Yeah,
you can see that on the Riverwalk. We've done lives from there at the holidays.
Yeah, that school has grown. It's exploded over the years. It is one of the architectural gems of Tampa. And this event is it's got a huge following. People form basically, post-collegiate fraternities called crews, and they dress up as pirates. They raise funds throughout the year for charity. They do floats for the parade. It's a whole thing. And if you grew up in Tampa, it's part of Tampa culture. And this race, comes a little bit after that, but it's just so much fun. And that pirate theme really holds throughout. I mean, right down to the mascot for the run or for the race, the medals.
So cool.
It really is. And they really have leaned into it. Publix is the title sponsor. And Publix does an amazing job with their race series. They really do. We've run the A1A, which just happened last weekend, and some friends of ours from the Cape Coral Running Group went over and did that and had a great time and had great success. So I'm very proud of all of them for that. But I love Publix does races right. They get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, where to start? I mean, what do you want to talk first? Expo or?
Yeah, the expo is presented by ABC Action News. It's at the Tampa Convention Center, which I love because it's plenty of space.
Plenty of space, plenty of parking.
Plenty of space and parking, and you don't really have to, fight, and it doesn't feel claustrophobic, and there's everything you could want at an expo, including a meet and greet with Fitz and Meg Brower.
We're going to have some celebrities there. That's for sure.
In the same booth.
Now, every year we've gone, there have been cheerleaders from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe some players there as well. Their mascot running around. I believe we got some video and photos of you with the mascot.
We do.
It's the expo space. The Tampa Convention Center is thousands and thousands of square feet of convention space, ballrooms, meeting rooms, and they do such a great job because you go to the expo. Historically, it's always been packet pickup down on the first floor, expo on the second floor. And I think that our in and out time maximum for packet pickups 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. If you really wanted to just come and get it and get your gear and then go, you could.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just for packet pickup.
No, oh yeah.
That's super quick and easy.
And that's going on Friday, February 24th from 10 a.m. to, I believe it's 8 p.m. And
so basically all day.
Yeah. Anybody who's, gets off work late, you may have to combat some traffic here at Tampa, but it's going on that late. And then on Saturday, February 25th, if you're not doing any of those races and you're doing the Sunday races, you could do it 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. So
that's not bad.
That's good. Yeah. And they're just, it's always fun. They always have like massage and chiropractic booths, all like any gear you might have left behind at home. It, like we always say,
if your luggage got lost on the way here, you could buy everything you need at this expo.
You can find your name on the runner's participant wall and take a photo with it.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. And we've done that before at Shamrock and here. And I just really like it. I really like it. So, and you can check out the apparel. There's something that Fitz was wearing in one of the promotional videos she did for Gasparilla. And it was like a red hoodie that was just gorgeous. So I think some of the gear is really great this year. So I like running like shirts and tanks and jackets and hoodies.
I'll be curious if this is going to be extra from like additional apparel you can purchase, or if this is going to be part of what's included in the runner's stuff.
We'll have to recap it when we get our stuff and see.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is, for me, this is one of my favorite expos because it's so big and ample space. You're not tripping over each other. There's plenty of vendors. I mean, they really do a phenomenal job here. And like I said, if you lost your luggage on the way to this race, you could buy everything you need at the expo. You'd be fine.
It's true. It's true. You can. So I think there's plenty of time to pick everything up at the expo, regardless of which races you might be running.
Yeah. So the pro tip I would give everybody is you could do one of two things. You can park at the convention center if you want. I don't remember if parking.
You don't.
You can. I don't.
You don't recommend it.
No, I don't remember if they charge for parking if you're there under a certain amount of time. I don't recall. If they do, it's nominal. It's not a huge charge. There is ample parking in downtown, specifically within walking distance. I would say if you're parking along the streets, the metered spots are heavily policed. To make sure that if you're parking at a meter, that you are mindful of your time. You will get cited for that if you let it lapse. And the municipal parking lot is I want to say 5 to 7 minute walk from the municipal parking lot or parking deck to the convention center. If you don't want to park at the convention center, park there at the lot.
But there are some people who are flying in and Ubering to their hotels. And
yes.
If you're staying at the host hotel, which is the Embassy Suites, that's near the convention center,
literally can roll out of bed and be at the start line.
Yeah, totally.
If you got the host hotel, you lucked out.
If you got the host hotel, or if you got the Westin, it's just a little bit more of a walk. That's
about a 5 minute walk. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of a bridge involved, I believe.
The Hilton that we stay at in downtown
Tampa downtown
is under 10 minutes of a walk. We walked it last year. No problem at all.
Yeah. So I would say, you can park safely and you can park close, but then you can also just walk if you are already at your hotel and you're at one of the host hotels nearby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, and there's plenty of time at the expo. Now, shall we talk about the races and how they're divvied up? I mean, yes, there are challenges that involve all 4 of these races. And there are, so there's a 5K, there's an 8K, there's a 15K, and there's a half. However, it doesn't increase in mileage as you go through the weekend per se. Because
what do you mean, Amy? Tell me more.
Wow, that was like sarcasm.
I'm setting you up. For it. No, but you would expect it. You would expect it to start with the smallest and end with the largest. That's not exactly how it works.
You're used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually with challenge weekends, it's like that. But so on Saturday, there is the 15K and the 5K. And the 15K goes off first. It's the longer race. It's 9.3 miles. And it will start with waves and with seated runners. They have seated runners at this race in all of the events. So they'll align them to go off with the gun time, because that is how they determine the winners. So the 15K is going off in the 6 o'clock hour. And there are different waves. So, and as I recall, you can see it. It's what the color, it's designated on your bib somehow, as I recall. But that is the 15K and the 5K. The 5K happens in waves in the 9 o'clock hour. So there are 2 hours separating those races. And then on Sunday, you have the half marathon going off in that 6 a.m. hour, that in the morning. And then you have the 8K going off a couple hours later. So the 8K is actually the last event to go off, whereas you would expect if it was the highest mileage, it would be the half.
Right.
But no. So.
And it works out rather well because, you know, with timing and everything. So I totally understand why they do it. It just is a little counterintuitive if you've never done this race weekend before.
Yeah. And all of them will have the wheelchair athletes start first, and then the seated runners. And then, you know, like I'm looking at the 15K right now, and it starts with the wheelchair athletes on at 6:40 in the morning. And then all the way up to 6:55, you have start waves and then the walkers.
Yeah. And to be clear, if you're doing the first race of either day, you're going to be getting up a little early. It's going to be a pre-sunup start, just FYI, which is not a bad thing. You know, the courses, like I said, they are the 15K, the 8K, I'm sorry, the 5K and the 8K, those are just on Bayshore. I don't know the 15K, if that takes you on to Davis Island or not. It does not. No. Okay. Nope. So the three of those races are just on Bayshore. Bayshore is fast, flat, fully paved. However, the weather at this race ranges from frigid to sweltering, baking in the sun, or fighting rain. You just don't know. Bring appropriate clothing for every contingency. But the nice thing is, if you're doing that first race of the morning, you can get a lot of it, if not all of it, done before the sun comes up. And that's a good thing because you're running right along Tampa Bay, which is going to be humid. Regardless of what you're fighting in terms of the weather, the humidity is going to be an issue.
Yeah. Well, we might get a little reprieve from typical summer humidity from what I hear.
I hope.
But I'm hoping that.
But you always have some there because you're running right by the water.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. Yeah. That's the half is over on Davis Island. Everything else is Bayshore and Bayshore adjacent.
Okay. So that being said, then everybody 5K, 15K, 8K, you guys don't even have an overpass to worry about. It's only the half marathon that gets the overpass that takes you out of Davis Island. You do a quick loop and then you come back out onto Bayshore for the out and back on Bayshore Boulevard. So
the start of the 15K is Borean, I think is how you say that.
Borean, yeah.
And Franklin Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on Little Bayshore, you continue on Bayshore, heading south to Gandy. Then you make a right turn on Gandy, turn around at Quincy. And it's all Gandy back to Bayshore and Bayshore to the finish, which is basically where you started. So
hard to beat.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the course. It's a great out and back. All of them. Well, I mean the all of them are out and backs, but that for a half marathon, it's tough to beat, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm talking myself up for this half marathon that I got wrangled into. Yeah.
You didn't get wrangled into it. You agreed to it.
Did I though?
Yeah,
did I though?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, make me feel better about it. Make me feel better about it.
Because you're going to have members of the Runcation Nation with you. Also, you will have the neighborhood people over there in Davis Island that get out of their houses, and they could be.
That is true.
They're Donna Marathon Weekend-ish.
They really do. We do have a lot of neighborhood support over there on Davis Island. Mm-hmm. It's gotten better over the years, and I'm curious to see what's going to look like this year. What's also going to make me feel better about this race is the bling.
The bling. Oh,
talk to us about the bling, Aim.
Oh my gosh. I can't. Okay. And do you know that this is the only race where I've seen this before? They had medals you could order that were supporter medals that mirrored the participant medals.
That was super cool.
And you could give to your friends and family who helped you train for these races. I just love that.
That is really cool.
I loved that. And so that was new. And if there are any left, I think you may be able to pick some up at the expo, but I don't know if there will be any or if you can still do that. But I just think it's cool, and I hope they're on display at the expo so you can see them.
Mm-hmm.
The 15K, it is, what can I say? Well, it's purple. It's got the mascot of the race, and that is, of course, a parrot.
Pepperjack.
Right? Pepperjack.
Yeah.
Right.
Pepperjack the parrot.
And I always want cheese when I think of that name, but okay. But Pepperjack the parrot, and I got a great picture with Pepperjack last year at the expo, but it's Pepperjack, and it says 15K and Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic Tampa 2023, and Pepperjack is on all of the medals this year.
Yeah,
all of the medals.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. Not gonna lie.
Why?
I have got to see this medal up close and personal. I love the historic Gasparilla half marathon medals we've been getting, and I love the skull and crossbones. The Jolly Roger, kind of look.
It's still a skull and crossbones.
I know, but it's a little different. The graphic I've seen. I haven't seen the actual medal.
Okay. Well, I haven't either, but it looks like it's going to be similar, but the pepper jack is there.
Yeah.
Like a smaller version of pepper jack and kind of like a teal 8K medal. And then the 5K is yellow and orange with pepper jack and 5K on it. So, and then of course there are challenge medals for those who are able to participate in the challenges, like for all 4 races, or for, I believe, the 5K and the 8K, or you could do the 15K and the half. Those are all challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk about those next week once we see our members of our Runcation Nation showing off those challenge medals.
Yes, and I'm going to make sure to get photos of the bling from the expo, or one of us will make sure to get photos of the bling from the expo.
Mm-hmm.
So that
they've got to be there somewhere, right?
We can show it and talk about it. Yeah. Oh, they always have a display.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. And truthfully, the bling, we've said it before. I think that the bling that they do for this race rivals anything that you'd see at like a Run Disney event.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I saw the shirts too.
Mm-hmm.
And if those are the shirts that are actually included with the race, those are going to be gorgeous shirts for us to talk about next week.
And they have historically done great shirts, great quality, like some of it's always a tech shirt of some sort. It's got a lot of times they've got like the waffle pattern in it, which I really like. And yeah, their shirts have been historically very, very good.
So I can't wait for that. So we've kind of given an overview. I think that Fitz and her conversation with the race director, her live the other night was just great in terms of recapping logistics and things like that. Yeah,
which I was going to say, we did share that in the Runcation Nation Facebook group. If you are not a part of that, please search for it on Facebook. Request to join. We'll make sure you're not a robot, and we'll let you right in. We posted that in there. I think there's, like you said, great logistic information, kind of straight from the horse's mouth. I mean, how do you beat that?
Yeah. I mean, so what is it? It's the Michelob Ultra Challenge. It's the Michelob Ultra Pure Gold Challenge, the Stella Artois Solstice Lager Challenge, and then the Bud Light Seltzer Challenge. So there are like 4 different ones. And just which it's just crazy. So those are,
I'm excited. I'm excited to see these. I think people who like doing challenges, this is a great weekend. You've got options.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, if you're doing all 4 races, you may be.
That's a lot of running.
That's a lot of running. I mean, I can remember back when Donna had a 5K and a 10K on the same day.
We did that.
And we did that, but I'm not going to tell you how I felt afterwards. I felt like
you felt like you did a 15K. You're about to re-experience that.
Oh, I hope I'm handle it better.
You're going to be fine.
I did everything wrong in the beginning. I didn't eat.
No.
It was rough. Yeah. So
have an Uncrustable.
I'm going to handle this better. Fine. It'll be fine, right? Yeah.
You'll be fine. But speaking of eating, all this talk of running has made me very hungry.
It made you hungry.
It does.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about Tampa and just places that we've gone in the past, if you're flying in or driving in, you're looking for places to go. This is the whole reason, one of the reasons that we do the show is we want you to know where to go. And after you've gotten one of your Michelob challenges, or maybe you just did a one-off, like you're doing just the 5K and you're dipping your toe in for the first time, that's worth celebrating. And by the way, there's plenty of after party at this race weekend. So you should absolutely
I cannot wait.
Stick around for the after parties that happen as official race events. But
Yeah, because there's going to be water and food and entertainment at the after party, and I know that we'll experience that, and we'll talk about that more on the recap. But of course it's there, and of course you can have your post race beverage there. But
of course,
there's so much when you've taken a breath and you've taken a shower and you're ready to celebrate. There are so many places to explore and indulge.
Oh, absolutely. And if your hub is, if you're staying, say, in the downtown Tampa area, especially, there's just so many places you can kind of just span out from there and go and check out. And we're going to talk about
their quick Uber ride away or Lyft or,
And we'll talk about some of the stuff that we've covered previously on the show that we think are notable that you should check out. We'll give you the episode that it was in, and you should do it. I mean, especially if you don't have anything, in mind yet.
Yeah. I mean, you might have talked to locals and you might have some new places in mind that we have yet to explore and indulge, because this place is just full of them.
Oh, yeah.
Full of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a treasure hunt, if you will.
Exactly.
But even going back to our very first episode, I can't tell you how excited I am to say that the Columbia restaurant caters the after party for the half. I don't know if they're going to be there on Saturday, because typically we haven't run races on Saturday.
Right.
At this weekend, we've just done the half. Really. So, but the Columbia has we have talked about all of their food, all of their Cuban cuisine, that Spanish just flair, the Cuban, the 1905 salad, the Spanish bean soup, the chicken rice. And the beverages are just magical.
They are.
So I know that they're catering the after party.
And you've got the original location in Ybor City that's just a quick 5 to 10 minute Uber ride away if you're in downtown Tampa. You've also got the Riverwalk location, which is the one that we covered on the very first episode of the show. The food is absolutely incredible. If you're wanting to go for a Cuban sandwich, if you're wanting to go for deviled crab, if you're wanting to go some arroz con pollo, if you're wanting to have paella, and by the way, give yourself extra time. If you're getting the paella, it's 45 minutes to prepare and worth every minute. So,
but it's also worth it to have the lobster cannelloni.
Pete's Manhattan if you're looking for a beverage, the table side.
But also, yes, you knew what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
The table side sangria de cava.
The sangria de cava. Or
mojito.
Oh, of course. So the Columbia is part of Tampa's culinary history. It has been in business since 1905. They have locations, several locations in the Tampa Bay area and a couple throughout the state as well. But that is a family-owned and operated restaurant. You cannot go wrong if you say, I'm going to try the Columbia when I go.
Yes.
Period.
And if you're talking about you want like bar bites and snack like bar food that's top notch, in addition to some local craft beer, I would say Tampa Bay Brewing Company is a great place to go.
Tampa Bay Brewing Company, I mean, it puts you right in the center of Ybor, literally centro de Ybor.
So you'd have to Uber there. Huh?
I would, only because, get yourself get a flight, then, have
or Lyft.
Well, Uber, Lyft, rideshare, whatever, but, get a flight of beer, get some of their bar bites. I recall that we were quite a big fan of their pretzel.
Yes, 100%.
I think they have absolutely one of the best Hefeweizens I've ever had at Tampa Bay Brewing Company. The space is gorgeous. You're eating and drinking in there, and it's kind of in the brewery. And
So you can see all the big tanks back there.
Yeah. And
where they make the magic.
Where the magic happens, exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's episode 22 that we did that.
Yes. And that, I believe, is a video episode, yes?
Yeah, so you can see it. So you can see.
And there's another spot that I cannot recommend enough. This is a family favorite. We've gone there for
I love it.
We've gone there for celebrations. We've gone there just because. We've gone there for all kinds of major life events in our family. And it's a place called DATZ, D-A-T-Z. And DATZ... It has been
featured on Food Network.
I believe that they have. And they have a neighbor location called Dough for dessert. So you can go to DATZ for your meal and beverages and go right next door to Dough and get something that's, to satisfy that sweet tooth. I love DATZ. DATZ to me is elevated. Bar food's not really the right term, but
I'll say elevated comfort food.
Elevated comfort food
and creative.
Very. I mean, look, they make the Vandross cheeseburger,
which is what?
Which is served instead of a bun. The cheeseburger is served on a jelly donut. On a jelly donut. I mean, come on.
I mean, I think you would have to split it.
It's obscene, but it's delicious. They also do an elevated.
I like the KFC bowl.
I was going to say,
but it's not. It's not called the KFC bowl.
They call it. I believe it's called the Colonel's Bowl or something to that effect. It is basically the Colonel's it's the KFC bowl with mashed potatoes and gravy and corn and fried chicken and but
so good.
But it's elevated. It's so amazing. Their meatloaf is ridiculous. And
it's stuffed with like macaroni and cheese.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But there is a squash ravioli.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
So good.
Their food is ridiculous. And I also love their menus. They print their menus. They look like little newspapers. And they do it on newsprint. It reminds me a lot of a local Tampa magazine called Creative Loafing that really let you know what was going on the arts and entertainment scene in town. I believe Creative Loafing still publishes, if I'm not mistaken. But DATZ is amazing. And for beverages, they have absolutely one of the best salted caramel old fashions that you will ever have. And they garnish it with a little square of salted caramel.
It's so good. I love that drink. I agree with you. It may be my favorite drink there, but they also have an extensive local craft beer list. If you are on that, they have we also have featured the Dunk This Donut, which is like a coffee martini that has a powdered donut as a garnish. Like one of those mini powdered donuts as a garnish. So that is a great one. And that was from episode 23 on our show. So episode 32 was also an amazing spot on the Riverwalk, which is Eulalie.
We've talked about it plenty of times.
Accompanied by a brewery. And we love the brewmaster in charge, Tim Shackton, because everything he pairs with food, with food, all the brews that he crafts to go along with the food to create just an amazing experience. You're by the Riverwalk, you're having Florida fresh entrees, and you are having premium craft beer that just enhances the entire meal, and you can taste the love that he puts in the love, the sweat, the hard work, the passion that he has. You can taste it in the beer.
100%. And it comes through when you talk to the guy, and he is so much fun, and you realize this is somebody doing something that they genuinely love. And it comes through in the product. Eulalie is part of the Gansmart or the Columbia Restaurant Group, which is the Columbia Eulalie. We're gonna mention, I think, one or two others from that same restaurant group. There's a reason for that, though, and that's because, again, they are a Tampa local family-owned and operated restaurant group, and
they're steeped in history,
and they are
in the Tampa history,
very much so. Eulalie is specifically Florida fresh items and Native American items.
Whereas Columbia was like the Cuban
and Spanish,
influence.
and Italian influences. So it's of Ybor. So it's just amazing. And the Eulalie Spring Brewery, the Eulalie restaurant itself, the interior space, the exterior space, they're beautiful. Great place for you to hang out with your friends after the race.
Oh my gosh. Like they have like that lawn area where you could sit in like the classy lawn furniture, and you could see the lights on the Riverwalk and just the boats go by. And it's just, the atmosphere is great. I would say get some wedding beer, get an alligator hush puppy appetizer,
yeah.
Get some char-grilled oysters, just get the okra fries because it's not the okra
No, it's not.
It's better, 10 times better.
It's so good. It's so good.
Those are the things that I could just say you've got to get in terms of, and then for dessert, that
the maple bacon ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there. Now that's kind of like that end of the Riverwalk. If you go all the way to the other end of the Riverwalk and then keep going till you get out towards Bayshore and then keep going for the race. And then instead of turning around at Gandy, you keep going a little further. It's literally a straight shot. You end up at a place that we covered in episode 53 that's actually owned by a friend of mine from high school called Asian Kitchen.
I love Lisa.
And she and her family, they've been in the restaurant business, at least 2 decades, I want to say. But they are doing fast, fresh, Asian-inspired food and doing some interesting spins. And one of my favorite dishes to this day that we've covered on the show is the ramen from Asian Kitchen. And they're incorporating smoked brisket into ramen.
Yeah, that's great. But I also love the pad thai and I love the pork belly.
Oh.
And I do love the dumplings also there.
And
I think
there's not a bad thing on the menu there.
There isn't. And I think that if you want something quick, if you're looking for something that's not, I don't want to sit down. I don't want white tablecloth necessarily. I want awesome food. And it's just a little place where I can go and hang out and have great food that would be great for carbo loading before the race. And I believe that we did that, in fact, when we covered it on the show. And it's fantastic. It's top notch, but it's also laid back and you don't have to be dressed to the nines. And
no.
It's just a great place.
No, you go in there, you're going to find people who've biked in from the neighborhood. You're going to find soldiers coming off of MacDill Air Force Base, grabbing a quick lunch, civilian support staff from the base, because it's right down there by the Bayshore Gate. What just a phenomenal spot. And Lisa and her team there are just killing it.
They are
so good.
Now, if you're looking for brunch or breakfast or just, if you're looking for comfort food, diner classics. And we haven't even covered this on an episode proper. We just talked about it in terms of the restaurant group, the Columbia Restaurant Group, but goody.
Goody, I think I'm going to give some love this weekend, especially if there's any part or time when we're not when we can't be together because we're having to make sure that Dad's covered. I think we're going to have to do some official coverage of Goody Goody.
We've got to.
Again, like you said, part of the Columbia Restaurant Group. The Goody Goody was a diner and a staple of my childhood. We would probably go there at least a couple of times a month when I was a kid growing up. And the folks over at the Columbia Restaurant Group, they got the menus, they got the recipes, they recreated the Goody Goody.
They resurrected the whole thing.
They did, because it did end up going out of business several years ago, and they brought it back, and you can get just amazing diner food. And like you said, if you're looking for brunch or breakfast, man,
awesome.
That plate is full of, eggs and bacon and sausage and, depending on what you're doing, with your breakfast, pancakes. If you're wanting to go for burgers, I mean, they're doing these awesome smash burgers that, have their special sauce on it. The POX.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to beat. It
and
is
if
really
you want dessert, I mean, you have the milkshakes there which are good. The old fashioned ice cream that is just wonderful.
That's not what you're here to talk about when it comes to dessert there, though.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, and they have great hot dogs too.
Their hot dogs are ridiculous. They do one. Good. You've had it. It's got the blistered jalapeno on it.
I do love that.
Yes.
I absolutely do. So I think it's called the Rusty.
The Rusty, yes.
The Rusty, and I think it has like the chili and cheese, and just get it.
But what's your favorite? What's your favorite dessert, Aim? I think I might know.
You know what it is? The entirety of a butterscotch pie.
Okay, let's start with a slice. You may not be able to eat a whole butterscotch pie.
One sitting, but you got to take it home.
We have one.
Yeah.
We have one.
Take it to the hotel and share it among the Runcation Nation.
Well, I was going to say we've won. The holiday. Hey, what are you bringing? We're bringing dessert, and we brought a butterscotch pie. We won.
We're winning.
It was great
because it's so good. It's really rich. I agree, and you have to share it, but it's just so good.
I hear you. And listen, I know it's going to seem...
for the man who says chocolate is...
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's going to seem like, man, is there anything else that the Columbia Restaurant Group, can't,
let's just round it out.
Is doing that these guys haven't talked about? Well, we're going to one more on this list. And again, because they are so steeped in Tampa's history, one of the things that they have done with several of their locations is they have purchased real estate that is historic in nature. The Ulele is at an old waterworks in Tampa. The Columbia itself is in its precinct, and it was a police precinct at one time. Yes.
Yeah.
The original Columbia restaurant location is, where it always has been in Ybor. The location I'm about to talk about, Casa Santo Stefano, which is a dyed-in-the-wool traditional Sicilian restaurant, is
so good.
In a early 1900s macaroni factory that is in Ybor City. And they bought the building and completely restored it and brought in elements of Ybor's history, and that includes things like they restored an entire barber shop, and they put all the fittings in the sky bar up there, so you walk in off the elevator and you're seeing this classic barber chair, barber pole, and sink, and it's gorgeous what they did, because these places were being shut down over the years as people age out, and the businesses were being totaled, and they preserve some of that history. It's really neat. But their food,
and their beverages, Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you're looking for Sicilian, which of course, that in the flavor profile, for Italian food is it's almost a blending of Italian and Mediterranean. Like you'll taste some influences of Greece in the cooking and a lot of seafood. Very heavy on seafood because Sicily's an island. So,
but you also have fantastic just pasta dishes with here's grandma's recipe and it has an egg, a pasta with an egg, or the lasagna they have is amazing. The bread that comes out of that wood fire oven,
and they're doing
I could go on there.
Their cocktail game, their classic cocktails are phenomenal as well. And again, for the space and when you're in there and the experience that you get, absolutely ridiculous. And we can't wait to, I know that some of the Runcation Nation is planning on going there one night this weekend. So I can't wait to hear their review of Casa Santo Stefano.
And I'm telling you that you just need to get the 1925 Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Just get it.
Now that's kind of almost a white tablecloth experience there. If you're wanting something a little more casual, a little more
up to the Sky Bar, unless you go up to the Sky Bar.
Right.
So,
but if you're looking for something a little more casual and, maybe you're going for, I don't know, just quick and easy. There's a little spot in the Soho community, South Howard Avenue, called Taco Dirty that we've talked about on episode 172.
Yeah. So when we were doing vegetarian, we discovered this place. Although they have it all. They do meat, they do vegetarian, they have
vegan options as well. This is food for the omnivore on the go.
Yeah, I like that. So if you need something that's like a fast and fresh and you want to take it back to your room, or you just want kind of a grab and go kind of thing, it's a good, you can get a bowl, you can get tacos, you can get nachos. It's
the concept is kind of similar to, say, a Chipotle or a Moe's or a Qdoba, but everything is fresh. Everything is made there. The food variety that you're going to get is more broad. It's not just Tex-Mex.
Right.
And like you said, you could do bowls, you can do nachos. It is really good.
Sauces are fantastic. Like the buffalo avocado sauce is just great. The fried broccoli is, and just like the cold Asian, not Asian, but the cold noodles are just fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I say, if you're looking for something quick and you're in the mood for that kind of thing, it's a great place. If you want some upscale celebration, then you could review episode 192 for Charlie's Steakhouse.
Oh yeah. Now we've been talking about places that are a little closer to downtown. This is a little bit more of probably a 10-minute car ride, right across 275. Just shoot across town, right over near, This is very close to West Shore Plaza. So really 10 minutes tops in an Uber, Lyft, rideshare, or driving yourself. And if you want to talk about fine steaks, Charlie's is going to be right up there. And we've had some debate with a friend of the show and patron of the show, John Schroeder. Because he puts it right there neck and neck with another Tampa classic, Burns Steakhouse,
that we haven't done yet.
We haven't covered on the show yet.
And let me just tell you, you need to just get on the waiting list for
start now. If you don't have
half a
your
decade.
if you don't have your reservation for Gasparilla already, you won't get one. That's not happening. So
we're not even talking about that.
No. But Charlie's does a lot of things really well. I love the fact that they have a great selection of dry aged beef. So regardless of the cut you're looking for, you're gonna find an amazing cut of meat.
Yeah.
Their sides that they do, their a la carte sides, might be the star of the show. And I know Amy made a face when I said that because I know what you're going to say.
It's the lobster mac and cheese that will ruin you for every other lobster mac and cheese.
It absolutely does.
In the world.
It's the size of a brick, and it's probably got an entire lobster worth of lobster meat in it. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
So I'm just going to say great cocktails also. But I think the star of the entire show for me, even though it's Charlie's Steakhouse, is the lobster mac and cheese.
Well, I am a huge fan of that lobster mac and cheese, but I also want it to go with my dry aged ribeye. So just saying.
Of course.
But if you're in Tampa, I think getting to a place that's got some of that Spanish influence is really a must. And, we've talked about the Columbia. We've talked about Casa Santo Stefano, and that's again, leaning more Sicilian, Italian, but there's a spot that is a regional chain, but has become a local favorite in Tampa. And we covered them on episode 205. And that is Booyah Gastro Bar.
And I'm just going to tell you, I posted on social media the picture of me with the paella we had.
Oh, yeah.
I just posed with it and my facial expression and said, caption this, because that thing was amazing. The seafood was perfection.
They are absolutely keeping the original intent of these recipes, and they're doing them so well with so much care. The food quality is out of this world. The space is very trendy looking, but I really enjoyed it. And the location we went to in Tampa was also in the Soho neighborhood, closer to downtown. But, it had the great restaurant downstairs and it had a little sky bar upstairs, which was really kind of a nice touch. It was very crowded, but it was nice to go check it out.
So I would say, that is not as white tablecloth, is more... It is like maybe a step down from that, but it's still elevated dining.
It is. It'd be a place for a nice date. Not like a formal date, but a nice date.
I would say if you're looking for late night, though, if you're looking for, hey, I've been out there and I've been celebrating my crossing the finish line, and I need some late night comfort food, then I think that you should go right around the corner from one of the host hotels at Gasparilla, which would be called the Pint and Brew.
We covered them on episode 223.
Yeah, because the grilled cheese sandwiches, and there are different variations of grilled cheese sandwiches at this place, they are like no others. It's the the grilled cheese, the bread is just magical.
Say that last part again. You had a little breakup with the remote connection there.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you that there are many different grilled cheeses on the menu. Traditional grilled cheese. There's a grilled cheese that has roast beef. There is...
There's one with sour cream and jalapenos, like a jalapeno popper grilled cheese.
Like a jalapeno popper, which is magical. They griddle with garlic butter these different versions of grilled cheese sandwiches. They have a Cuban grilled cheese also.
which
And
is a nice nod to a Cuban without trying to say that it's
be a Cuban.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, and it is accompanied with some of the best tomato soup I have had.
Their tomato soup game is unreal.
Yeah, it's dippable. Just the classic grilled cheese is delightful, but it's a little hole in the wall across from the Hilton downtown Tampa, which is a nice place to stay for the Gasparilla races because it's walking distance to the start. But this place, and it's got how many taps?
They've got over 30 taps, and it's almost all, if not all, are Florida craft beers. So they really lean heavily into, local craft beer, and they come up with some finds that are just amazing. And
like there was one we had the last time we were there that tasted like liquid Skittles.
Yes.
Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was called Taste the Rainbow.
And I don't think that was a Florida one, but it's a mixture of unique beverages along with Florida craft local.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. I mean, they do lean heavily into the Florida craft, but they have other stuff as well. But it's fantastic. And like you said, their soup is insane. Those grilled cheese sandwiches are amazing. We've never had a bad thing.
They have pasta and a nice burrata salad.
Their burrata was very good. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So it's just, if you want late night, hang out, relax, and just, it's a fun time.
It is. And they're open pretty late, which I think is really nice. And that's kind of where I think their business picks up. And they do a very brisk business. They've got bar seating and then some high top tables. Not a huge place, but absolutely worth checking out.
For sure. So it's that was episode 223, and we have given, I think, a range of places that are white tablecloth or just hanging out with friends or quick grab and go kind of things that when you're in the Tampa area, you have all these different kinds of styles of food and beverage to choose from. I think that this is a nice little guide to get you started for this weekend.
Yeah, we've given you some great jumping off points. We are also going to be bringing you some brand new locations on upcoming episodes as well. Yeah. Speaking of, next week, we're going to be recapping the Runcation Nation meetup at Gasparilla. We can't wait to see all of you there. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to it. Packet pickup and doing everything on Friday, Saturday. You've got your run. Sunday, I got mine. So it's going to be an absolute blast. So
it is. It is.
This has been an oversized episode, and we are going to have to call it at this point. But before we go, we want to thank our sponsor, who we mentioned earlier in the show, Fitz Koehler.
Yes, as you referenced at the beginning, we were shouting her out for just publishing her brand new book. And so she is not only a race announcer, a talented race announcer, she is who will be at the 2023 Gasparilla Distance Classic. She also has a course that will change your life and has definitely changed ours too.
Yes, Fixing Your Life with Fitness is broken down into several different modules, each focusing on different aspects of fitness, how to design your own workouts, hit all of them, And she debunks myths, and she helps you overcome various challenges with getting your brain around your own fitness goals. She's real, and that to me, I think is one of the things that we've hammered this point home in talking about her over the last several weeks. But she's walked the walk and talked the talk. And when you're dealing with her, whether it's in person or you're in the course, what you see is what you get. And she knows what it's like to experience the challenges that we've all faced, regardless of your fitness level, and what it's going to take for you to overcome those challenges. So
Runcation Nation, I can't tell you enough what we have gotten out of this course, and there's never a better time for you to take this course. When you go to fitzness.com and sign up, you can enter RED22 in the discount code box at checkout and get 20% off the entire course. And that discount code, which is RED22, will work on her fantastic book that you see on our set in all of our live chats that are not remote.
That are not remote.
You'll see them behind us. You'll see it is a set piece. My Noisy Cancer Comeback. That's a great book, and the discount code works on that too.
Awesome. So, Fitz, we want to thank you for sponsoring this week's show. Cannot wait to see you at the Gasparilla Distance Classic. We are going to put a link to the course in our show notes. Check it out. Fixing Your Life with Fitzness at fitzness.com.
Thanks for joining us in 2023 on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, or wherever you are. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.